Imagine this. You come home after a long day, your shoulders are heavy, your mind is still racing from everything you didn't finish. And there they are, your cat, sitting quietly, watching you, not demanding, not loud, just present. You sit down, they jump onto your lap, you start petting them, soft, slow, familiar. They begin to purr, that low comforting vibration that feels like everything is okay again. And then, out of nowhere, they bite you, not hard enough to break skin, but enough to make you freeze, enough to make you think, why did I do something wrong? Are they mad at me? Most people will tell you, oh, cats are just like that. They're unpredictable. They snap. But what if I told you that moment, that bite, wasn't random, wasn't aggression, wasn't even anger, it was communication. And the real problem is you didn't understand what they were trying to say. Today we're going to decode that moment, because once you understand why your cat bites you, you will never look at them the same way again. Number 1, breaking the biggest myth. Let's start with something most cat owners get completely wrong. Cats are not unpredictable. They are precise, incredibly precise. They don't explode out of nowhere. They escalate, slowly, quietly, subtly. The problem is not that your cat didn't warn you. The problem is you didn't see the warning. Cats communicate in whispers, not words, not loud signals, but micro movements, tiny shifts, a flick of the tail, a slight tightening of the body, a change in breathing. And if you miss those whispers, they have only one option left, to speak louder. That louder is the bite. Number 2, the overstimulation trap. This is the most common situation. And ironically, it happens in the most peaceful moments. You're petting your cat, they seem relaxed, happy, even affectionate, and then suddenly they turn and bite. It feels personal, like betrayal. But here's the truth, most people don't realize your cat didn't suddenly change. You crossed a boundary that was already there. Cats have something called a sensory threshold. Think of it like a volume dial. At first touch feels good, comforting, bonding, but over time, that same touch becomes too much. Not painful, but overwhelming. And unlike humans, cats don't say, hey, I've had enough. They show it, in ways that are easy to miss. A tail that starts twitching. Not wildly, just the tip. Their ears rotate slightly backward. Their body stiffens under your hand. And here's the part that surprises most people. These signs often look like contentment. That's why they're missed. You think you're continuing a bonding moment, but your cat is slowly becoming overstimulated. Researchers studying feline behavior have found that cats often show clear pre-bite signals seconds or even minutes before biting. But humans misinterpret them every single time, and when those signals are ignored, the bite becomes the final message. Not punishment, not anger, just please stop. Here's something I've noticed working with cat behavior cases. The strongest bonds don't come from how long you pet your cat. They come from knowing when to stop. That's what builds trust. Because trust for a cat is not about attention, it's about control. When your cat realizes you listen when I'm uncomfortable, that's when they relax deeper around you. Ironically, petting them less makes them trust you more. Number 3, when you accidentally trained a hunter. Now let's talk about something most cat owners never realize they did. You didn't just play with your cat, you trained them, especially when they were kittens. Picture this, a tiny kitten, curious, playful, full of energy. You wiggle your fingers, they pounce, you laugh, they bite, you move your hand, they chase. It's adorable until it's not. Because what your cat learned in that moment wasn't, this is a game. They learned this is prey. Your hand became a moving target, something to hunt, something to catch, something to bite. And the problem is that lesson doesn't disappear with age. It gets stronger. Studies in animal behavior have shown that cats who regularly play with human hands are significantly more likely to show biting behavior later in life. Not because they're aggressive, but because they're consistent. They're repeating what worked before. Critical mistake. Most owners make. Here's where it gets worse. When your cat bites, what do? You pull your hand away, fast, instantly. But to your cat, that doesn't look like rejection. It looks like prey escaping. And nothing triggers a cat's instinct more than that. You're not stopping the behavior, you're making it exciting, reinforcing it, strengthening it. How to fix it? Practical reset. The solution is simple, but it requires consistency. Stop using your hands as toys completely. Switch to wand toys, feathers, anything that creates distance. And if your cat grabs your hand, freeze. Don't move, don't react. Because a prey that doesn't move stops being interesting. Within weeks, your cat's brain rewires the association, and suddenly you're no longer the target. And if you're starting to see your cat differently right now, if this is already changing how you understand their behavior, and hey, if this is already changing the way you read your cat's behavior, hit like and subscribe. Because most cat owners don't have a behavior problem, they have a communication problem, and once you fix that, everything changes. Number 4, the pain they never show you. Now we need to talk about the one reason that hits the hardest, because this is where misunderstanding turns into regret. What if your cat didn't bite you? Because they were annoyed, but because they were hurting cats are masters at hiding pain, not because they're strong, but because they evolved that way. In the wild, showing weakness makes you a target, so they adapt. They eat normally, walk normally, act normally, until you touch the wrong spot, and suddenly they bite. Sharp, immediate, without warning, and it feels confusing because nothing else seemed wrong. Pain-based biting is one of the most misunderstood signals in cats, because it doesn't come with build-up, it doesn't come with gradual escalation, it comes instantly. And that's what makes it easy to mislabel as bad behavior, but it's not behavior, it's protection. Common hidden causes include joint pain or early arthritis, dental infections, internal discomfort, minor injuries that went unnoticed. And here's the hardest truth sometimes. That bite is the only warning you'll ever get. What to watch for. Pay attention if the biting is new. It happens in specific areas. Your cat flinches when touched. These are not personality changes. They are signals, and catching them early can change everything. Number 5. The fear response no one sees. Now imagine this. You reach down to pick up your cat, something you've done 100 times before, but today they bite you instantly. No hesitation, no build-up, just reaction. That's not aggression, that's fear. And fear in animals doesn't think, it reacts. In that moment, you're not their owner, you're a potential threat. Why this happens? Cats are extremely sensitive to their environment. Small changes matter, things you don't even notice. A loud sound outside, a new smell, a piece of furniture moved slightly, a stranger entering the space. All of these can shift their internal state, and when they feel cornered, they don't negotiate. They create distance, fast. Common mistake. The worst thing you can do here: chase them, corner them, or try to comfort them by holding them, because from their perspective, that removes their only escape. And when escape is gone, defense becomes stronger. Better approach. Give them space. Let them hide. Let them regulate themselves, because safety for a cat is not something you give. It's something they feel. Number 6. The bite that means love. Now, let's go back to something I said earlier. Not every bite means stay away. Some bites mean the exact opposite, and this is the one that changes everything. Love bites. Deep explanation. Have you ever been sitting quietly, your cat curled up next to you, purring softly, eyes half closed, and then they gently nibble your finger, not enough to hurt, just enough to feel? That's not random. That's not testing you. That's bonding. In early kittenhood, cats groom each other, and part of that grooming includes gentle nipping. It's how they communicate closeness, trust, connection. So when your cat does this to you, they're not treating you like a human, they're treating you like family. How to recognize it? A love bite feels different. It's soft. Their body is relaxed. No tension, no attempt to escape. It happens in calm moments, not chaotic ones. The biggest mistake here. Most people react. They pull away, they yelp, they scold, and without realizing it, they reject the gesture. Imagine trying to hug someone, and they push you away. That's what your cat feels. What to do instead? Stay still. Breathe. Let the moment exist. Because in that quiet interaction, your cat is saying something rare, something vulnerable, something simple. You're mine. Here's the truth. No one tells you about cats. They are not confusing. They are not cold. They are not unpredictable. They are just different. They don't speak your language, and you don't naturally speak theirs. So every misunderstanding is not a failure of behavior. It's a failure of translation. Every bite your cat gives you is a sentence. Sometimes it means stop. Sometimes play with me properly. Sometimes I'm hurting. Sometimes I'm scared. And sometimes I love you. The question is, are you listening? If this video changed the way you see your cat, even just a little, share it with someone who loves their cat. Because understanding them is the closest thing we have to truly connecting with them. And once you do, you don't just own a cat anymore. You understand one. Your cat was never hard to love, only hard to understand.